Almighty God, you have blessed us with memory, reason, and skill. Help us use it wisely in the service of our town government. We ask this in your holy name. Salute the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome the public, and anyone from the public wish to speak? Give us your name.
Hi, I'm Belinda Parent, and I'm the Director of Energy Services at JCEO. And I'm here tonight to represent JCEO at the request of Gordon Hazel, who was unable to make it. First, I'd like to thank you for your support over the last 4 or 5 months. And it's our understanding that at this time of year is when you start beginning planning for your budget for the fiscal year next year. JCEO would like to be included in your 2005 budget, and further, it is our hope that we will be considered reinstating the Outreach Center on a full-time basis. If anyone has any questions, I would be glad to take them back to the office and get you an answer in a day or two.
Anyone else?
I do. Nobody else does. Same thing I've been mentioning the last couple of meetings, and it still hasn't been discussed by the board. And if nothing else, I'd certainly like to at least hear the board discuss it. And that's the subdivision law that takes away the right of people to pass down property to their own children. I think that's a socialist. You know, it's unbelievable that we've come to this kind of thing, and I think it should be discussed. I cannot believe the town has the right to tell me that I cannot give my son a piece of property without jumping through all kinds of hoops and going through the expense of getting the property surveyed, etc. So, at least if the board would discuss it amongst yourselves, you'd have an idea what's on the members of the board's minds.
I would like to ask the supervisor to poll all the towns within Clinton County, see how many do or do not have subdivision laws. I'd like to have this for next month for a possible consideration.
With that part in it?
Yes, yes. They may have subdivision laws. I want to know how many have the law that's requiring a survey done on parcels of land, not just to family relatives, to anybody and everybody. I need to know that.
Julie, you can do that first.
Yeah.
Anybody else? My thought is probably that I don't disagree with you or agree, but if everyone that comes through the door and asks us to change a law, I don't think that we can do it. But if there's more, and what I think we should do with this is maybe wait a while and see if we have other problems, and then look at it and change it. Because I'm sure we're going to run into other things in that, the same way we did with zoning.
Well, I've been at all the board meetings, and it was advertised in the paper, the public hearing on subdivision law and so on. And I think if you talk to most people on the street and said subdivision, handing a piece of property to your child is not what they would consider subdivision. So I think very few people were aware of what that law was or where that would affect them. So there was no discussion, even among the members of the board, there was no discussion. So I think by discussing it now, you're doing what should have been done 3 or 4 months ago. Nobody was trying to slip anything through here, but it got through, and I just think it's a terrible law, not a bad law. I think it's a terrible law that says I can't give my child a piece of property without the town's permission. That's just takes away family rights, and I just can't believe that's the proper way to do things.
May I say something? I'm still waiting too, because we want to give a piece of property to our daughter, and I have to wait for the surveyor. Now, that's been 2 months. So, it would be nice if we didn't have to have a survey, we'd be able to give it to them right away, since it is family members.
Anyone else? You guys want to wait and discuss it after we find out about the other towns, or what do you want to do? Nobody saying that.
Well, I think that's what Larry wants.
Well,
see what's
I need
going
to know
on.
if we're off base here. In fact, are we the only town that's requiring a survey done? Other towns may have subdivision laws as far as size of lots and stuff like that. But do they require a survey done? I don't know that. I don't know if anybody here knows that. I think we need to know that.
You want to wait till next month and discuss it?
It's gonna take a few days to get it together.
Okay.
You want to get this information, then we can discuss this then.
That's what I think it would be better. Have a motion on that?
I made a motion.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Try your next.
Uh, Better than what happened last month, which was nothing, so it's a step. It's a step.
Are you in a hurry to give that to him, or?
Well, what's happening is he's in a hurry and he's probably gonna buy a piece of property somewhere else. So it does affect.
Why, Brian, you're gonna give one free?
Because the bank will not give him a loan if it's in Calvin's name, because my sister Lisa already went through that.
But chances are, if he buys a lot somewhere else.
No, he's gonna buy a house somewhere else.
Okay.
So
If he bought a lot somewhere else, it would probably.
no, he's not buying a lot. He's buying a house somewhere else. So instead of my son living next, half a mile from me, he'd be living somewhere else.
Anyone else from the public? Mike?
The only thing I can say to that is, even if you change the law, it's gonna take 3 to 4 months. You have to have a public hearing, it has to be a local law. So if you wanna give your land, it's not gonna happen next month if they decide to change it.
I understand that, but if we don't take that step now, then it's never gonna happen, so. Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll go on. Need approval of the minutes of the meeting on July 13th. Have a motion on that? A second?
Second.
All in favor? The minutes of the July 23rd?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have code officer's report and zoning officer for your information. And then you have the monthly report from the zoning board and the zoning board of appeals. I think you guys should start looking at this. There's a lot of stuff in it. We're doing a lot of stuff. So we're going to keep up with it. Then we have and then on, we haven't got an answer from the lawyer yet on rezoning Machine's property. So we'll have to wait till next month. And we have one from the zoning board. And it's the town board members. And they're asking one of us or all of us to start attending their meetings. And I've been thinking about this, and I thought maybe we'd go in some kind of a schedule where we take turns going each month and reporting back. Does anybody want to do that? Or somebody have a better idea? Nobody goes now. Huh? You go to the zoning board? You want to go, you want to take turns? You go to all of them, okay. What about the zoning board of appeals?
What day of the week are these on there?
Monday, right?
Thursday?
Planning board is the first Thursday and zoning is the third. Third Thursday.
I can go to that.
Okay, John's gonna do that one.
Yeah.
If any of you, any one of you can't make it, I'd be glad to go in.
What time?
7.
No, the zoning board's at 5:30, and the planning board's at 5. Or 6. Sorry.
Okay, correspondence. You want to do that, Julie?
Yep. Bruce received a letter this week from Morris and Pauline Roberts. It says, "We feel an obligation to write and express our feelings about our new Rapid Road. The new asphalt road is wonderful. As you know, it was badly needed. The guardrails along the riverside and curve near Gaddets were a long time coming. What a plus. We have lived here since 1958 and have never seen this road look so nice. The sides are so well groomed. It was also very pleasing to see Mr. Racine working alongside with his crew. We had company from Buffalo, New York, and Rhode Island this past weekend. They commented what a nice road we lived on. That was music to our ears, and they were certainly right. It was an okay road before, but now it's a great one. Thanks to all." And then he received another. This is Alan. "I would like to thank all of you for the great job you did finishing my driveway. We really did appreciate the quick response. Please take a break on Pam and I. John and Pam Harrington."
Next is a letter from Northeastern School Board, and they're asking us to sign an agreement with the incline service. I need a motion on this. When we trade, they use the voting machines, we can use their auditorium if we want.
I'll make a motion.
Have a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
This is the same thing we do at home. Yeah,
Same thing. I guess we have to do this every year.
Yeah.
Okay, the next is we have,
I don't know how's it gonna work when you get the new machines, though.
I don't know either.
You call for the whole, the way they're talking about these new machines.
I did?
I don't know the way they're gonna be wired up.
Can I get a vote? Can I get a vote on that?
What?
A vote on that, I didn't get a vote. I just went on to the next. Jules?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
I vote aye. I'm getting ahead of myself. The next is a letter from the Battle of Plattsburgh, and they're looking for us to put a float in the parade. Does anybody want to do that? We have to let them know by August 11th. It's going to be September 11th.
We've done this before?
Never in Plattsburgh. Couldn't get enough people interested to do Champlain or Ross's Point this year.
Legion's sworn in that day.
Huh?
The Legion's sworn in that day, too. Yeah, well,
No interest? On to the next. This is cable, next one is Time Warner on renewing the franchise agreement. I'd like a couple of the councilmen to look into this. Anybody want to do it?
it's the contract here, it'll be for 10 years. And it's my understanding is they want to close that office in Ross's Point. I think the machines see that office, they won't.
You want to go with somebody and work on this? You and I? Okay,
Who else want to work on this?
just the two of us.
Oh, well, you know.
I'll go with you. And there's a letter, next is a letter from Time Warner telling us that,
I don't know, what's the town feel about this?
The two cable station they took off. They
yeah,
took off my Square Garden and the other stations, 29 off.
yeah.
They're not on anymore, and
That's not up to them.
I know, but I'm gonna get off the cable, because that's the two stations I like, and they're not on there anymore.
Isn't there 3 you like? Isn't there 3 you like?
But the other day I watched the sport, and they took them off.
They take you off.
No, I'm still there.
You guys, gonna give us permission, Jules and I work on this?
Yes.
You know?
Okay. The next is from Time Warner telling us they took the 2 sports channels off. The next is from JCEO, and they're telling us what happened there this month, the monthly report. And I also met with, they have a new girl there, Joey Howe, and they have a problem. They're looking for cars and drivers to take people to the medical center. So if there's anybody out there that would like to volunteer, call JCO and they'll call you when they need somebody. And also, JCO is having their 55 Alive safety driving course here September 8th and 9th from 12:30 to 4. The next is a company that wants us to put up surveillance cameras in the town. I don't think our town is that bad. This one really is for Larry and John and water. We'll get to that one. The next one is a scam from Montreal. It's these companies that come down to the post office, rent a box, and supposedly sell out of Champlain. And then I have a letter from Mark Berry and Gary Douglas. Buffalo's claiming us to be the scam capital of the United States. There's no way that we can stop it. Attorney General is working with Canadian authorities. I don't know what's going to happen. We're all set. Everything has been filed on Sewer District 5. And we have a letter from Barbara Berry, 5-star state for fall employment from the 5-star state students. We have that over. Stormwater management, this is another Larry and John. We have a letter from Betty Little and Assemblyman Silvers thanking us for our support of Bill 622 and Bill 33483. This other one is for your information. Public Service Commission. And I have minutes of the meeting from the EMS. And and everything seems to be doing pretty good. Money's coming in, they hired a couple new employees, and as far as I know, everything's done all right. I was at their meeting, and everything seems to be okay.
You mean a couple, what, they got 4 now?
I think so. They're doing better than one call a day. They're ahead of what they've done, what they did last year. Well, seems like if you listen to Scanner, both ambulances are very busy. Village and EMS. Alan, I was gonna ask you about that ditch cleaning, how that was coming down on the Stetson Road, but we got a letter today. You know, a letter that we received from Clinton County.
Yeah. We'll wait for Milton,
Okay.
when he gets done this other project, to start on this one. He's gonna do the digging. He builds us and we build the park. That's the way he's gonna work with that.
That's all set to go.
As far as I know, unless something changes.
Mike, Champlain Plastics,
I heard no more complaints, I don't hear any more noise, so I'll check on it again, but I'm assuming that the problem has been.
are you getting any calls, George? One from last month, the water district, did you guys come up on a figure, what we were gonna charge when we hooked up, water or sewer?
John was here that day with me. Engineers came out of Watertown, we discussed it somewhat. A hookup price, you know, for somebody, the water line's already going by there.
Right.
I heard the figure could be around $1,000, I don't know if that's acceptable or,
From what Mike called different places, and that's what most of them charge.
I'll read you what the opinion of the state comptroller here says. This pursuant to Town Law 202, Section 5, the cost of an extension to a town water district can be charged only against the properties within the extension. The extension may also be charged a proportion of the cost of certain items of the original district formation as determined by the town board. We talked about last month. You have to charge it to the new people, and you can charge them for part of the cost of building the other part.
for building the original pipeline.
Then I checked with the village, someone aboard, said they couldn't lower the rates because it was already in their budgets.
We approved the rate increase last month, I believe.
Just a sewer.
Sewer?
Water, you gotta have
Pardon?
water, so.
Water and sewer both.
Well, you approved both, but we're just waiting on the local law. from the
Local law
attorney.
from Bernie. Okay, I'll do that next month.
Do we need a public hearing
On the local law, you know.
to charge the people $1,000 to hook up? And
Yeah, because you're gonna have to, in order to do that, you're gonna have a extend the district. And when you extend a district, it's like a new district, you have to have a public hearing.
is that the route we should go then?
Okay.
You have to make sure the guy you're doing it for gets, you get a request from him because he's gotta pay for it.
Yeah, but what we're looking for is what we're gonna charge for the hookup, not to extend the district. If you're in the district and you build in that district and you're gonna hook up, that's what we're looking for.
You still need a public hearing?
Sewer, you might.
It's gonna be a loss.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. And you're saying $1,000?
Well, that seems like a fair figure from,
That's what all different ones around, we see.
Yeah.
Yeah, water and sewer, or just one?
Both.
this particular, it would be $1,000 each?
Now, this is for us to decide.
Okay. For this particular district, this person,
It'll be just water.
it's just, there's no sewer in it,
Right.
it's just water district, right?
The village does it, taps it, does it work. They charge us. we in turn charge the homeowner. So, what would, that price would be in part of that $1,000. So it'd be the hookup and the fee towards the debt of the district.
Guess we need a loan, I don't know.
Bruce, how much is the village charging you to do that tap right now?
The last one they did for us, if I remember right, was like $125, but that's a long time ago. And, can't think of his name, Joe. Joe's supposed to be making us a list. If it's a 2-inch or an inch or whatever it is, there's gonna be a certain price.
Okay. So in that fee that you're proposing, you're gonna itemize exactly what that $1,000 is for. You're not just gonna say it's $1,000 just to hook up, who's supplying the pipe, if you have to core bore the road or dig up the road, is that included? I mean, you're gonna have to be pretty specific here.
This is something that we should have a lawyer draw up for us.
You have to locate the road too and see where the pipe is. What side of the road it's on.
That's right. It costs more money to go across the road.
Yeah, there should be different prices. But it's pretty hard to charge the guy $1,000 that's from me to you from the pipe, and the guy on the other side of the road's gotta come all the way across. Actually, you cross the road, the town or the village is gonna have to bring that to the opposite side of the road.
The way that works, I don't know.
You can't let the public dig in the
No,
in the
can't
road.
let 'em dig.
No, but somebody has to pay for that. The people in the water district have to pay for that, not the outside people that aren't in that district. That's coming out of taxpayer dollars to do that work.
We have to figure out exactly what it costs. If you go across the road, if you don't have to cross the road, you'll get a lot less money.
You wanna wait and see?
Then what you put in there, you have to gonna tap it, put a curb cut, and then on the side of the road, and probably 20 feet of pipe, put a shut off. And the customer will take them to shut off into his property.
It all needs to be in writing then. But you usually bring it to the town lot, to the town line.
I don't know, tell me.
You're talking what? You go to the opposite side of the road, you're talking
It's gonna
50
be more money,
feet
you're gonna have more pipe, you're gonna need the road.
50, 60 feet of pipe.
You guys wanna try and
Is
work
that
on
right
something?
away, that water right away, is that within the town limits or is it beyond?
On the town
It's
limit.
all down there.
It is on the town property?
That might be in the county road, is it a county road?
County road.
Could be in the county right away.
Can we charge so much for the hookup and so much then per foot?
Do anything you want.
Well, we just take a more underneath the road, it's gonna be a lot cheaper, it's out with the water.
You guys
I don't
wanna
know,
do
it's
more
pretty
research
pretty
on this?
stony up there. It's pretty stony up on that road to bore through
Yeah,
under
we
the
might have
road.
problems there, you're right.
I think when they put overage line in, they couldn't go no deeper.
Ledge.
Right on the ledge.
Where's this in comparison to his property?
Where's what?
Where's this comparison with his property?
I don't know where those lots are, I might start it.
It starts where Tedford used to live, just this side of it. And it comes back, it's what's called the transmission line that they want to tap into now. It's not a water district. The water district starts around where Tedford's property was, and then it goes towards the dump road there.
This is north of the Tedford property?
Yes. It was just a transmission line, because apparently those people never wanted to hook up at the time. But now, when things are changing and land is for sale, that deal with the lots. The lots can be smaller because there's water going by, so he has to have access to that line.
There's a lot of ledge right there, isn't there?
There's ledge all through there. I mean, I don't know the depths here and there, but we have to be able to tell them something. I mean, either by the foot or by the job, or are you going to negotiate each contract separately? I mean, That could be a nightmare.
We had another one, where it was a truck stop, they're waiting to hook up sewer.
Can we charge so much as a hookup fee plus the expense of hooking it up?
I guess we can do any way we want to do.
Maybe each one would be different that way. You know, I mean, maybe instead of $1,000, we charge $500 plus
Never,
expense.
Or whatever
Garage.
it costs us to hook it up.
never
Expense
garage.
money.
Joe's waiting for us to figure out what we're gonna charge before he hooks up.
You stay right away there.
Yeah, it's on state right away. He's gonna hook up onto the end of where the restaurant, the sub shop is.
So sewer's already there.
It's their sewer. It's their line.
So, right.
What do you wanna do in this?
Well, we couldn't charge them nothing to hook up, we just have to charge them the use. It's their line, they already own it.
You're in that Miramar district.
Never's there too? The restaurant? No.
Private line.
You run into it.
Restaurant just got sued.
Yeah, well, that's all they want, is a truck stop.
Somehow we need a fee plus recoup our cost of putting the line in.
Wanna come back next meeting and have something?
Do we need a public hearing on this?
I know the line's already there. The only question to me is, will the Board of Health let you hook another line up? Have 3 lines on a private line.
Where the hell is telling them to hook up to?
They want to hook onto
They
it.
want them to hook
They know it's not a public municipal line, they know it's a private line.
I don't know about that, but they're telling them to hook up. You gotta do something. You can't use a septic system.
So the only thing you have to worry about is how much you're gonna charge him, if anything, to use that line once he hooks up to the line.
His brother put that line in and owns it, so it's be up to his brother what he wanted to charge.
Yeah, but the line
Well,
hooks
I
into
think
the
we can
Miramar
charge-
line.
The only thing we can charge is the flow through it.
No, the line hooks, his line hooks up to the Miramar line.
Yeah.
And all those people are paying for the cost of that
They're-
line. Bedford and McDonald's and those people are paying for that. If he hooks up and he don't pay for it, then he's not paying part of that infrastructure that the rest are paying for.
Did Jack have to pay for that?
No? He should have, but he didn't.
Did the subway have to pay?
No.
You gonna do this hookups individually? You're gonna go one at a time every time we have one? We'll sit here and talk about it, or you wanna set a fee, or what?
Well, it's gotta be separate fees, because that, he has to hook at that, he hooks all that stuff up to himself, because we can't go on private property. And that line's on private property where he's gonna have to hook up.
Village still has to hook it up. We have to pay for that. I've been down,
Yeah, but for never, not,
for Never's.
who hooked up Subway? The village went in there and hooked them up?
I don't know what, Village has
I
got,
don't think
Village has gotta hook this up. Okay, you take it,
No, but I'm
go
just
talk
saying,
with Joe
village
and.
can't go outside of the town.
Huh?
The village is very concerned that they hook it up, because they want to make sure it's hooked up right.
Right, and they're responsible for it, and they do the hookup.
So what do they have to put, a flow meter on there? How do they read that?
Puts a well, he puts a meter on the well. Yep. The water that's pumped through the well, how they're,
In the sewer, just like we're building the village.
It'd be pretty hard to do that there for the truck stop, wouldn't it? All the trucks they wash?
Parker's doing the same thing.
separate line. The line you wash the trucks with don't go through the meter.
I don't totally understand it.
Hmm?
I don't totally understand it.
Well, I asked you last month for you guys to come back and give me a price this month. Nobody, I don't know. Want to table it for another month? Give you guys a chance to look into it and see what you think?
Well, the guys that came with the engineer, they didn't give us they gave us specific price, but they didn't say, how to do it.
Other towns charge.
I know.
Mike has checked into it.
I'll have to check into that, and find out.
When they charge a base fee,
Base feed and so much for putting it up.
so much to recoup our costs.
Yeah. That's what we gotta do.
Okay. Next month, I guess.
Do we need a public hearing?
I
No?
know you gotta have something to have a public hearing for. We haven't come up with anything yet.
That's a lawyer decision, not mine. Never did this before.
You gotta set something. Can't just say we're gonna have a public hearing and not know where we're going, what we're doing.
A public hearing is to get the people's input of
Yeah.
what we're considering doing, am I correct? Will you check with an attorney to see if we need a public hearing?
Okay.
You don't need
Are
a
you-
public hearing to find out what's gonna cost to do
You
the
gotta-
job, starting with.
Are you gonna
guys
charge
gotta
them?
get involved in this
Yes,
thing and find out what's gonna
charge.
cost to do this hookup work.
That'd be a
Very
charge.
simple.
Okay, I'll check with them.
I'm just trying to cover ourselves. Go ahead and do something without a hearing and we needed one. I don't know.
Well, you haven't come up with a price, or if we're gonna charge, if we're not gonna charge, what we're gonna do.
They're gonna charge them.
How much you gonna charge them?
The figure was thrown out by the engineers was $1,000 per hookup, water or sewer. Is that fair?
That's fair with me. No problem. You making that in a motion?
My motion would be that we charge $1,000 for each water or sewer, plus the cost that we incur of hooking it up. And some of those, you're telling me the village is gonna do it and charge us.
The village is gonna do all the hooking up, because we get the water from them.
That we need to, and they're gonna bill us for their services. We need to recoup that from,
Through that $1,000. Or do you wanna charge them 1,000 plus?
do they need to pay for part of the original cost of putting the system in?
According to this, you can charge them, whatever you determine.
Can't do that.
Pardon?
You can't do that. You cannot charge them for what you already have done.
Well, that's what Bruce is saying we gotta do.
But
Yeah.
the only way you get money back is by a hookup charge. And there's no set fee on a hookup charge. So if you're gonna have somebody's going up there for a big motel or something, you can charge $25,000 to hook it up. Pay for the pipe. But you can't go charge a homeowner that kind of money.
Well, if you're making
They cannot get involved in the debt service of that system, that district up there. That's why you're gonna get money on the hookup charge. So you're talking about two different things. The hookup charge on the Ridge Road is a smaller deal than up here. That's commercial and that's residential. So what size line are they be putting up there? What size line's up there? It's residential, with 3-inch water line, right?
Two things you're talking about. On the Ridge Road, they were talking about extending the district. To extend the district, you can add the coverage cost of the original pipe to the owner, to the new guy. Because I just read that to you. Now, if it's not a new district and it's just an outside user, it's whatever you decide your contract for an outside user is. Charge them nothing or $1,000, whatever you want.
Right.
What we did before was nothing. Now you have to sell for
It's not up to the taxpayers to pay for it, it's up to the water district to pay for it.
But we've never done things right in any of the districts. No, very few.
Somebody's had to sit down and think this thing out and come up with the figures.
But when we did the Miramar job, we hooked them up for nothing, and we shouldn't.
That's just what I'm trying to
And I gotta
limit.
live with it somehow or other.
If we charge $1,000 per hookup plus cost, that $1,000 goes into the, where,
In that district.
stays with that water district.
We cannot use that money any other place. We can't take people outside that district money and use in that district. We can't take that money out of that district to use any other place.
Has to go into the maintenance,
I would be putting a fund for emergency, I imagine that.
yes.
Extra money, right?
Yeah, for repairing the line, fixing it if it breaks, all that stuff, whatever may happen to it.
May I ask a question? You said before that you had some people that weren't paying for their water, like the ones that were, like Parker, and the ones that were using it for washing cars and things?
Parker's paying for
The
it.
pay, oh, sewer. Oh, okay, no, I was thinking, I thought you meant some of the water ones
Parker has a
were
well.
being.
What happens with Parker, he has a well. He has a meter on his well. That's how it determined how much he's paying for sewer.
Oh, okay, I thought it was, I'm sorry, I thought it was some water that was hooked up too and that hadn't been paid for as it went along.
In his washroom, that water that goes in there, it goes outside, right, Mike?
They go into a wash water recovery system. It doesn't go into the sewer. It's filtered and they reuse it to rewash. with.
Okay, I'm just confused, thank you anyway.
You guys gonna check this out and come back next meeting?
Yeah, better. No, I just vote on something that wouldn't be right.
Okay. All right, we gotta close the meeting. We need a motion to close the meeting and go to public hearing.
So move it.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay. The public hearing on narrowing the highway.
She's got the notes.
Yeah, we're good.
The town board of the town of Champlain will hold a public hearing at the regular meeting to be held on August 10th, 2004 as follows. Local law number 4 of 2004 amending chapter A131 highway specifications of the town code for the town of Champlain at 7:30 p.m. All persons interested will be given an opportunity to speak or to offer written opinions, either for or against this proposed local law. Copies of said proposed local law are available for review at the town clerk's office. The meeting is open to the public. Other business will be taken up at this meeting.
Anything from the public?
This is what, to narrow because you had a 75-foot, now you're making it down to 60?
Yeah, 60.
And the culverts you put in have to be cleared, driveway culverts.
I think you were told that most towns were 50, and so you went with 60, is there anything magic about 60 except that was what was already there?
I don't know where we came up. You know where we came up with 60?
Well, I know it was already 60 there, that might be where the figure came from, but I thought most towns were 50.
Most towns are. I talked to Rodney Brown about that, and I explained to him what ours was, and we were the only one that seemed to have 75 foot when it was adopted in 1979 for whatever reason. And I explained the situation and why we wanted to change it to 60 foot, or what 60 foot is what they had over there, and he thought it was a good compromise between 50 and 75. That's where 60 foot came from.
If it was 50-foot livable, I mean, do we need to go to 60? Because it's going to affect all the other town roads.
Any new road.
Any new road?
And new
It
roads.
doesn't affect what's already there.
No, that's nothing to what's there now.
So
Just anything new.
just if you take in a new road, it has to be at least 60.
It's in the subdivision law. If you build a road, it would be in there, 60 foot instead of 75.
That part's fine.
Would this come into effect if you were repaving one of those roads that were,
If you're making a new road in your property, you make a subdivision, you'd have to build a road that wide, 60 feet. 6-foot right away. Or 60, 60-foot right away. Anyone else? Close it. Have a motion to close it and go back to the regular meeting.
Make a motion that we go back to regular meeting.
All right. Anybody want to make a motion on this? Huh? Yeah, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion we accept the local law, to go to 60 feet on all down roads, new roads.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, John?
Yes.
Clifford?
Yeah.
Larry?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Ralph, is that, them culverts, is that in that law, or is that, so we better
Yes.
put that in there too,
It's
or
in there.
It's in there.
it's in there? So we didn't mention. All driveway culverts have to be flared, the ends of them have to be flared.
Okay. I got one other, Kelly Donahue from Emergency Service called me. And we got a letter from UPS. They'd like to change the name of their driveway from Transporter Drive to UPS Way. And Kelly's recommending that we do this. The owner pays for the signs, we just have to do a resolution.
This on the 911.
Right. You have a motion on this?
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
Not a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's all I have. I'll go to ladies. Highway Superintendent, Alan?
Yeah, this is the stuff.
That Jake right to you?
Oh, okay. Guy from the state was supposed to be up here today, and I was supposed to meet with him, but he never showed up. So I'm gonna have to call him tomorrow. I can't think of his name, but I talked to him the other day on the phone. The guy that's in charge of Plattsburgh. I'll talk with him and see what happens, and I'll get a letter back to Alan. The Highway Department?
Okay, I received a letter here about a woman concerned about, a woman or a guy concerned about the Stetson Road, saying that we should paint the road, but next year, we're gonna repave that road. That's in the plan. So that's about as much as I can answer that question. And we got done paving the rapid roads, it's 23rd of July. Now we're in the process of putting the shoulders on. And we've been mowing the road with all that rain, pretty hard to keep up. Now I'm doing the ditching on the McRae Road. We're almost done. So between all this, we've been keeping pretty busy.
Are you gonna strike that rabbit road?
No,
No.
don't think we have to.
Oh,
Is that it?
Well, I got a letter here for about 276 in Prospect Street. Well, DOT approved it. They had a research. They found out that they're gonna put it at 45-mile-an-hour speed zone. And that's gonna be shortly. I guess that's supposed to be before school restarts. They told me.
Okay.
They're only gonna do a quarter mile on that,
Where?
that speed zone? It said like 25, 0.25.
Well, on Prospect Street, from what I understand.
It kind of said both, 276 and Prospect. It's not very far.
No.
276 and Prospect.
Quarter mile, you can driveway to driveway.
Well, they just have to slow down. They move through it.
You wanna call, Igor?
Roscoe?
I haven't got the thing yet. When I get the order from Sue, I'll tell you.
What's that?
When the order comes through, there's no order yet.
That's all it is. It's telling the distance on this one.
And it doesn't say what. where it starts and where it ends. It says 2.25 miles.
Okay.
But when they get the order, you'll be notified, it says here.
Okay. Anything else, Alan?
No, unless somebody's got a question.
No, I do have something though. Where you get from the Tallman Road to the Dubois Road, that's very nice through there now. All cut nice and neat. You can see really well.
Thank you.
Building committee, Clifford and Larry.
On the 10, we're gonna do away with the bids. We're not gonna accept the bids for the roofs and
Bids on the roof and on the garage floor?
and the garage floor. We're gonna have to, they're too much. And I think we're gonna go with in-house, do them with any.
We need a motion to not accept the bids.
I'll make a motion, well,
Go ahead.
make a motion to reject the bids that we received last month. We have a 45-day period, I believe, to reject them, both for the roof and the cement work on the floor.
Have a second? Any discussion? Roll call, John?
Yes.
Clifford?
Aye.
Larry?
Yes.
Jules?
Yes.
I vote yes. Anything else?
Can we go that way? Do it in-house? There's gonna be quite a bit of savings.
Let's see, almost half, right?
Yeah. Do we need a motion on that to go in-house or to put some people on the payroll or? No?
Anything
That's
else?
all I got on that.
Larry?
That's it.
Okay. Grant committee? John and Larry?
The only thing we have to check with the water.
Okay.
I wanna ask, I helped do the cemeteries last week for a couple of days. Would there be a grant to straighten some of them cemeteries out? I mean, you got the one in Paris Mills,
Straighten
stones are
stone?
falling out, you gotta get off the lawnmower, you set them back up. I mean, you know, there was people in there the other day, one tombstone fell. There was another one right next to that fell. The guy says, well, I don't know which one was my grandfather buried here, or was he buried there? You know, it's one of them confusing questions, I couldn't answer them, but, I mean, they need a little work. I wonder if there'd be a grant to straighten that up.
There was some a few years ago, I don't know if there's any now, we can check.
Same thing, the one over here, there, Shoots. Tough shape.
I'm not aware of grants for that. I don't know where to look, but somebody certainly can direct us.
You know, if the state got in and do that, or...
If there was any available, Hattie Shields would know about it.
Okay.
That's a place to find out. That's the best. Somebody call Hattie and she'll tell you where to go and get it or what.
I'll call her.
Okay.
I'll check on it.
Anything else? On the grants? Board of Assessment and Review, John?
Nothing at this time.
Highway Committee, Jules and John Paul?
Highways, as Alan just told you, the blacktop was done for this year. I have a question on upcoming roads. For some reason or other, we got mixed up on some of the roads this year. Should have been done, didn't get done. And I want to have it on, let's hear what road we're going to go on there next year, except it's going now. To get the culverts all in, ditching done. So next year we can go a little earlier with the blacktop, because we had a problem with blacktop this year. Every time we wait too late, we gotta have trucks that are sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. It's costly. This goes on all the time. So, maybe before next meeting, I wanna know exactly what roads we're gonna go on. To get this organized here ahead of time. Also, if next year, I want to find out about the ditching on the golf course road. That's gonna have to be done not all at once, but partly.
That.
I don't know who can contact, because we've got some crack work to be done on the roads too.
I inquired about that today. They're
Yeah,
gonna get back to me.
Is he out of, the Albany area?
Yep.
Can't get nobody any closer.
No, but he's reasonable. I could get Brunel out of Plattsburgh.
We'll sit and talk about this.
All right.
The golf course road, that getting
What?
bad, we're gonna lose that golf course road, if we don't fix it.
We've got quite a few other roads, these cracks are creating, and if we don't stop the water from going to them, we're gonna have a problem. And the golf course road is not that old either.
Nobody's getting a lot of use, and a lot of heavy trucks going through there now.
It's a raceway, no question about it. But if we can fix that ditching on the golf course side, it'll probably help to save that road
Yeah.
too. I was talking to an engineer here a while ago, and Governor Pataki made money available to do any gas cleanups. I don't know if you have any here in the town or not. That's like gas stations where you have to go and assess the soil. We had a few in Ross's Point here 2 years ago that did that, irrigated and all that stuff. There's money available for this, so if we have any here in town, let me know, I'll get in touch with this people and they can come and talk with me. And there's no charge in this thing here, the way it's done. Some people had a problem with some of this, they can't even sell land because it's not. We had one member 2 years ago, Ferris Mills, and a costly deal for the owner. On insurance, we have our new policy now coming year for savings of $3,415.06 over last year. That's the all the insurance except for the compensation and disability insurance, which comes up in January. This is on trucks, buildings, liability. So we've got a savings there coming in, which is I know we can use the money. And that's all I have right now.
John, anything on highways?
No.
Water and Sewer Committee, John and Larry.
Well, I'm not just right now. Just what we're gonna check out.
Landfill Committee,
I want to thank Al for getting all the grass cut up there, and he's supposed to have been up there for trimming.
No.
No hurry on that part of it. We got a little bit of trimming to do and lines on the fence.
Yep.
Other than that, the place looks immaculate. That's all I got on that.
okay, Town Clerk's report. Ralph?
One thing I have is a letter from the Board of Elections. Says New York State election law provides that in the presidential election years, there must be 2 days, one of which is a Saturday, on which people can register to vote. In Clinton County, these dates will be Wednesday, September 29th, from noon till 6, and October 9th, from 2 to 9. The law provides that we can consolidate towns for the registration days. Registrations for your town, Champlain, and the towns of Beekmantown and Shazy will be in the town hall, town of Shazy. Last year they had it here, this year it's in Shazy, next year probably be Beekmantown.
Anything else, Ralph?
Nope.
Okay, I'll go back to the public. Anyone from the public?
Reading the agenda, you're supposed to make a decision on the junkyard permit.
No, we have no information on it. We're not doing nothing, not acting on it. We have no information. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have something. I was reading in the paper a while ago that they have water quality projects where they issue grants. And since you were talking about having another well drilled or upgrading your water system here, Paul Cloutier in Ross's Point was very good at obtaining grants for for Ross's Point, and I wonder if he'd be interested in helping you with any grants. It's for it says for water quality improvement projects across New York State that help reduce pollution and runoff entering the state's lakes, rivers, and streams. If there's any grants or anything that can be used by the town, if anybody can look into them, perhaps I could help in some way.
We've hired an engineering firm, and they're looking into what would be the best way for us to get water to one of the villages or put in our own well farm.
But that's why I figured maybe if somebody looked into grants, perhaps I would help with it.
They're also looking into that.
Okay, just checking.
That's part of their job. Anyone else?
Just a quick thing, when I heard the highway report, it reminded me, last week I was coming off the Carden Road onto the Dubois Road, and that stop sign by the bridge is completely in the brush. You can't see it until you're almost right alongside of it. So that, brush ought to be trimmed back if some stranger comes through there. And also I'm on the Tallman Road every day, up by Pete Belrose's, and that brush after a while keeps creeping up and hiding that sign too.
He cut that yesterday.
That would have been cut in Carday Road, I think. It was cut after you went by, I think.
I was there last week, so, yeah. It was red.
Anyone else? Okay. Post audit bills.
I have one more thing for the town. Could we bring up something, anybody brings a project or something they want us to vote on, that we had to get it here by 10 days before the meeting? They bring it in 1 or 2 days, we don't have time to study it.
Anything, I'll tell you what I've been doing, is cutting off on Wednesday prior to our meeting, and that's when we start our agenda. And anything that's been coming in after that, we're not accepting it, because I figure nobody has the time to really research it and study it before we vote on it. So that's what we started to do. If you want to put that in a motion?
I'll put that in the motion.
Do you have a
We don't get it for 10 days before.
Okay. 10 days before?
Yeah.
Okay. Got a second? Jewel seconded? All in favor?
Aye.
Anything else? We'll review our post audit bills. And we need a motion to approve the monthly bills. Do you have any, Ron?
Yeah, we're to add, from Milton Cat, it's for a dipstick and a belt for the grader. It's for $113.10.
That's it?
I make a motion to accept the bills as read.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to close the meeting?
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
Second?
Second.
We're done. All in favor?